So, how are you guys doing? Welcome to, I don't even know what this is called, but...
It's a live Q&A with you guys.
Oh, it's a live Q&A with us, Pat and me. So I'm going to introduce everybody that's here. This is Patrick Marion Trantham, which I think is one of the coolest names I've ever heard. It's like Cash Matthews. It's one of those names that you would just never forget. Back here is Dylan Osborne, my son. Do you come up here?
Yeah, sure. Can you unlock this for me, by the way? Hey, guys.
This is my son, Dylan. He's the one that's been doing all the tech stuff that you guys have been seeing, and he's accomplished a lot in the last 3 days. I can't believe it. So the first thing I want to say before we get into the questions, I just want to say this community that I've been talking with for 4 months is like, man, this is amazing, an amazing group of people. Pat and I talk about it every day in the truck, and you guys are just, it's just a good group, and I'm really stoked to be part of it. I want to thank you guys for kind of bringing me in on that. Also, we want to do this as loose as possible. We're a little nervous. I'm a little nervous right now because it's the first time doing this. And I actually swore I'd never be in front of a camera again, and here I am. So this is kind of your fault. But we're going to do this loose, friendly, happy, and we're going to be open and honest, just straight up, you know, because I think that's the way it should be anyways. And Dylan, you're going to help me with questions, right?
Yeah, I'll be, if you guys want to send in questions through the chat, and then I'll read them out to them so they can answer.
Can you guys hear us okay? Where do I see a response?
Should just see.
It's a little bit behind, like you said, so it takes a while.
Yeah.
This will be the comments down here.
What's up, RL? Shane Osborne. I'm going to say hi to my friends while I'm waiting for a thing to come up. Actually, yeah, Richie Pierce. We've been talking a lot. He's a very cool guy. We've been talking almost every day. William Johnson and I have coffee every morning. Brian Bennett. You guys got to check this guy out, man. He speaks from the heart, and he's got a good story. He was on the Today Show. Check him out. Dana Duke, you guys know that. He's probably one of my best friends. He is one of my best friends. Dana and I have known each other for a long time. Bella Allen. She's been in this sport from the beginning. She's been into it. She's check her out, man. She's a wild card. She doesn't stop moving, speaks her mind. I mean, there's no filter on this woman whatsoever. Says exactly what she's thinking, and she's fun to talk to. Let's see. Yeah, so we talked about this community thing a couple months ago, and we talked about going, you know, this is kind of a journey. It's definitely a starting journey for me and Pat and Dylan. And as I said, I look at it as us all doing this together because this is not about me. It's about us, all of us here, all of the community. You guys have just as much to do with this as I do, and I want to thank you for your involvement in that. I have no idea where this is going to take us. I'm going to tell you some of the things and ideas that we've had from a few people. And should I answer questions, or should I feel free to?
That's just my message, so I'm going to relay any I see here to you guys.
Okay.
So you can talk.
So I'm going to just show you guys some stuff, and then I'll tell you some things that are going on. This was sent in by Jeffrey Slavic.
We got a good question here if you guys want. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
They say, why Folgers coffee?
Why? So we got a question, why Folgers coffee? I mean, have you never had Folgers? Instant. It's Folgers Instant. Don't forget. Folgers Instant.
What did they say? Something in the cup?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but,
slogan.
Man, believe me, I'm always in search for energy, and Folgers works good, and it's simple. Just a couple scoops, put a bunch of junk in there. But yeah, William, and I don't know if William is drinking Folgers. When we talk in the morning, we have coffee. I'm not sure. But yeah, Folgers is good. Cheap,
you want to talk
easy.
about your bike you got back there too, maybe?
Can you guys see this? So this is my S&M. It's ATF. It's the S&M ATF. I really am starting to dig this bike. Every day I ride it, it's getting better and better. You should be wearing a bathing suit. You should be in a bathing suit with long blonde hair. And I don't really know what the dimensions are on it, but I put it on the page. It was on there for a while. Patrick at Flatland Fuel, I called him up and I just said, hey man, you know, what's going to work? And he knew, he had a real good idea and he just put it together. You know, I really didn't have any influence in this. And it's good. I really like it. It's kind of advanced, but I'm learning it. I'm learning the bike and I really love it. And the quality of it is just, man, I never have to work on it. This is my helmet that I wear when I'm doing dirt jumping. And
you'll notice the face mask isn't on there anymore.
The visor's gone. There's a dent right here. It's because I face planted into, I don't even know what happened, but I face planted into a jump. And
that was in Bakersfield.
In Bakersfield. I don't know what happened. I was out, but it was weird because I checked my bike later and my gloves, my levers, my helmet, everything obviously drove right into the face of another jump, and which I usually will escape from the bike. I mean, I usually don't ride headfirst into a jump, but apparently I did. And so that's the helmet from that. I don't know. I'm just really liking the bike. It's solid, easy, but pretty easy to put together.
Mm-hmm. One question that keeps coming up is what made you get back into the whole scene and riding?
Okay, so I was riding dirt jumps, and I was getting hurt quite a bit, and so the whole insurance thing, insurance got expensive, and they said no more extreme sports or something like that. So I laid off that for a while, but I was having a lot of fun riding dirt jumps. And I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
Yeah, how you got started
What
back
got you
in
to
there.
get back into?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, right. So yeah, so I told you guys my memory is bad. I go in and out sometimes, but that's the deal. So I just, I was actually bagging on people that were on Facebook why they're wasting so much time on there, and I finally said, "Shit, man, can I cuss?"
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go see what's on Facebook or what it's all about. Just Facebook. And I went on there, and then you guys started sending me stuff, and we started talking, and it built from there. And then you guys were talking about riding and bikes and everything, and I just kind of got hooked into your trip. And it just evolved from there. So it was just kind of a natural thing that happened. I still haven't been on Twitter. Anyways, I wasn't on very much social media at all. In fact, I don't think I was on any. And that's how it happened. So it's kind of because you guys started kind of pushing me in the direction. I got caught up in your trip, and here we are. So, can I show this picture now?
Yeah.
All right.
So, this is sent to me by Jeffrey Slavic. And Jeffrey, do you want me to sign this, or you just showing me the picture? I don't know, but it's Jeff Emig. Make sure I got that right. Sorry, Steve Emig. And sorry about that, but I've known Steve forever and a day. That's a check. I even got a check. No, that's just for postage. Okay, let's get that up there. This was done with a Sharpie pen by Steve Emig. Check that out.
Freaking awesome, man.
Is that insane, man?
That's awesome.
Looks like one of those colorblind tests.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right? The detail, this must have taken him like
flat.
30 years.
Oh, man, that's crazy. That is so cool. It's like an
Anyways,
action
you guys
shot,
got that?
man. I dig the action shots. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right?
yeah. Like
But I mean,
action.
look at the detail on this thing. Man. It's like,
Man, that's crazy. Man, that's awesome. I mean, and even on camera, it doesn't do it justice when you see it in person. You know, I mean, it's just.
can you read this? Read what he wrote since you got your glasses on.
Let's see.
So this is on the side that I believe either Steve or Jeffrey wrote this.
See, oh, originality.
Oh, originality.
It's everything. I don't care about winning a contest. I'm stoked if someone says I have some cool and different tricks on the growth of freestyle.
I think the real
compliment is just seeing all these kids show up for a contest, and I have something to do with it. Yeah, on life. Yeah, I think one of the best things in life is when you get into one of those moods where you can't stop laughing. You cannot pay money for a better time. Yeah, R.L. Osborne.
Freestyle magazine, December. I guess I said that in an interview or something, but it's hard to read because there's so much artwork around it. But that's pretty cool, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
just kind of.
And that's like us. We do a lot of laughing. So, so it's true.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what Pat and I do in the truck all day is laugh. Pat and I have figured out the problems of the world in that truck when we're going to clean.
Yeah,
we have all the answers.
Oh yeah. that is a really cool poster, man. That is
the detail, right?
Oh, the detail's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Is it alright if I say something real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I just wanted to tell you about an idea we had. So we
are.
are.
Thank
Come
you.
on here, man.
We're starting a YouTube video.
Of a truck, man, you know?
We need a third seat.
Yeah. This is the love seat. But, so we started a YouTube channel for RL. There's nothing posted to it yet, but we're gonna start putting videos of him riding on there. We're gonna do some bike builds with updates, and I thought it'd be cool if you guys wanted to send in footage of yourselves riding currently or back in the day or whatever footage you guys have, and then we could do videos of us watching it and just kind of sharing that with everyone. So that's kind of a little update on something we're gonna be doing soon. I will post RL's email address for where you could send that footage after this, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Cool.
So yeah,
Thank you. Great. It's awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be cool.
So how this works is, so Pat helps me dig through all the different stuff that we're talking about and all the ideas and stuff like that. And he does research. I'll tell him something, he'll come back the next day and tell me more about it than I know. So and Pat and I we don't stop talking. I mean, we'll be on the side of the freeway at 20 miles an hour hitting those little bumps, but we're deep in a conversation and we don't care. So that's how that goes. But and we come up with a lot of ideas too about different things. We could do this, we could do that.
Yeah, different ideas for sure. Oh yeah. The thing is remembering them.
I know. We get out of the truck and we sit in the driveway. When we get off work, we sit in the driveway and talk for like another half hour. But okay, so and then Dylan, you guys have seen what he's done. He's done all this technical stuff. I couldn't do this.
Thank you, Dylan, man. I mean,
of course.
Man, awesome
I couldn't even go to Facebook was saying, man, you got to go to a group or you got to pick another thing or something like that. So I just stopped at like just under 5,000, so I didn't have to deal with that.
Here, Boost.
Is that Boost?
the cat.
We have some cats roaming around here somewhere. And Dylan, in about 2 minutes, got that second page going, and which is loading, and it's like on a week now. It's been taking to load. I don't know why it takes so long, but whatever. Let's see here.
What a lot of questions that are coming up are about if you're going to be putting out any products, like any bikes or redoing any of your signature bikes, like frames or forks and stuff like that.
Right.
And if you're going to be getting involved with any of those companies again or doing it on your own.
Okay.
That's come up a lot.
Okay, cool.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some water. You guys want anything to drink?
I got water. I'm good, thanks. What was the question again? Talk about bikes and stuff.
Yeah, about if you're.
They're wondering if you're going to get back into producing any of like your signature bikes and frames and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I promised you guys. Well, I told you guys I'd be as transparent as I could. I'm going to say some things that I shouldn't say today, but I'm going to say them anyways because screw it. Who cares? Doesn't really matter anyways.
It's the world today, man.
There's all kinds of junk going on. There's rumors about Redline maybe wanting to do something. chatted with Haro a little bit about doing something. I've been talking. Well, Harry Myers and I are just friends, but Harry used to own General Bicycles. And man, if you guys haven't checked out Harry Myers, check him out. This guy's.
Yeah.
Him and I were close when I was at General, and we've been talking off and on here online, and I just really dig this guy. And so I don't know. But on that note, Eric Wolf, who was in the hospital maybe a week ago, and I asked you guys, hey, if you guys could send him, just some wishes or something, because he's going through some serious surgeries. And you guys sent stuff in for 3 days. 3 days, stuff just kept coming over, and that was really cool. I was talking to him on the phone. I called him. I was talking to him while I was in the hospital, and the nurse was talking to him and hooking him up for a blood transfusion. And while he's talking to me on the phone, it was, man, I mean, I don't know, that's special stuff. I just thought that was really cool that he would still talk to me while he's doing that. But he owns a General Osborne Pro frame and fork, and he's going to send it to me. He wanted to give it to me, and I said, well, why don't you send it to me and I'll build it up, and we'll do a build on that, and then when we're done, you can have it back, because it's his bike, and he was down with that, and I think he's put it in a package, and his name is Eric Wolf, and I should be getting that bike next week sometime. So that's one possible project coming up. I'm getting a lot of people asking me to do how-tos, and I really want to do that. I want to do something where you guys send me a video of something you're trying to learn, and so hopefully I can check out maybe what's holding you back, and then I can go learn the trick again and tell you what I'm doing, and somewhere in there you guys will get to learn that trick. So that's one thing we're thinking about. I've been talking to Sean Bell about making a snow bike, which would be an articulating snow bike. I don't know if he's going to make it articulating or not, but there's these snow bikes that have skis on them. You sit on it like a bicycle and you go down the slopes, and he said they're easy to make. So I was talking to him about it. That's a possibility, and then we could go out and test it and see what it's like. Let's see.
Did you talk about the RL20II?
The RL22?
I think maybe
that's a red line.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can't say a whole bunch about red line because that's kind of that's why I called it a rumor type thing. Pat and I and Dylan and I have been talking about that, and I just can't say too much about that, but I will tell you there are things going around, and as soon as I get freed up to tell you guys everything, I will tell you the whole deal. But let's see. What else do I have in here?
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Oh, yeah.
If you're interested in doing like personal one-on-one or group like training sessions with young riders.
Did you guys hear that? Can they hear you?
They might be able to, but if you want to repeat it.
I guess a question came in about doing one-on-one or group training sessions with riders.
Young riders, they said.
Young riders.
Young riders.
Young ones, yeah.
I mean, young riders, old riders, I don't care. Whatever. That's a possibility. I saw a lady that's 65. She took up skating when she was 62, and she's skating bowls, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I think a lot of us are wondering about, we're like in our 50s or late 40s for some of you, some of us are high 50s. And we're kind of wondering, I'll speak for myself, is that it? How come we were having so much fun when we were a kid? How come we can't have fun now? Why do we have to be so grown up all the time? So I'm really kind of, that's one reason why I'm doing this. I really want to answer that question and see if we can figure out, even if it's just chatting online or projects online or something like that, but give us a new thing to refocus on as we get older and still enjoy our lives with something that we loved before, as kind of the foundation.
Yeah. Let us know, man. What you guys are
We've talked
thinking
about that a lot, right?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Let us know what you guys are thinking out there, man.
Yeah,
It's
you
great.
guys are good about that.
Yeah.
By the way, Pat is a NASCAR freak, man. I mean, I watch NASCAR once in a while. He knows stuff I didn't even know happened. What was that one with the pedal all the way down all the time?
Yeah, you mean Daytona?
Yeah, and they don't let off the gas.
Oh yeah, restrictor plate racing.
Restrictor plate
Restrictor
racing. I'm
plate.
sure you guys know what that is.
Restrictor plate.
I have no idea.
And Street Outlaws. Big
Street
Chief
Outlaws,
405.
yeah.
That's my guy, Big Chief 405.
Those are the big motors, right?
Oh
Drag
yeah.
racing.
Oh yeah. Street
Yeah.
Outlaw Street.
I like that show. Anything where they're building something. Let's see here. Ronnie Welton. I've been talking a lot with Ronnie Welton. I talked to Ronnie at the beginning of this thing, and he is. Ronnie and I have been good friends since we rode together. He was a pleasure to ride with. One of the smoothest riders I've ever been around, and I just want to say, what's up, Ronnie? And I'm glad we're talking on the phone, man. I appreciate the conversations. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, let me check.
Let's see.
Someone asked who I like in NASCAR. Harvick.
Harvick.
Oh, Kevin Harvick, man.
I hear that name all the time.
Stuart Haas, baby.
Stuart Haas.
Stuart Haas. Stuart Haas, man.
So Dylan and Patrick are also sports freaks. They talk about everything with football and baseball, and I'm more like motocross, freestyle, BMX. I like watching the BMX guys, like that big ramp they jump, or like Jamie Bestwick and Dennis McCoy. Man, those guys are really setting the standards too. I think Jamie's 48 and he's unbelievable. Pete Brandt, if you guys, Patrick at Flatland Fuel told me about this guy, and I think I've met Pete before, just not quite sure. But I think he's 50 now, and I mean he's as good as, to me, as anybody in the world on flat. I mean, that's really cool. For me to watch something like that, it gives me motivation, to ride. Live video interrupted over here.
That's the one that's behind a little bit.
Let me see.
Are they still here? Oh, could have been maybe it was.
It's just on mine.
I think we're still going. I think it's just maybe. Oh, there we go.
There, okay, we're connected.
Just sunspots or something, maybe solar system. I don't know. It's like we're back up and running.
Yeah.
We're going? Okay, good. We're good.
Just had a little hiccup.
Technical difficulties.
I got to talk about Bob Harrow too. Bob Harrow is a huge influence, and the guy that we were trying 360s and stuff like that on, off curbs and stuff, and riding backwards on the handlebars, which I actually saw my dad and a neighbor do when I was probably 6 years old. They were riding backwards on their handlebars. Yeah. And guys on my street, like the Souls family, Kevin and Danny Souls, they were messing around with bikes. Some guys were riding bikes around the block, wheelies around the block. And then when Bob Harrow came to live with us, he did a rock walk, and that was a real mind blower to see that. And he was learning to roll backwards, and that was, man, I got to give him a lot of credit for that, because not only was he doing these tricks, but he was so smooth and graceful. Ronnie Wilton rides the same way. They're just like, it's like watching a ballerina. They're just awesome riders. So I got to give props to Bob, because he did a lot. And Dana Duke too. Dana Duke booked all our shows on the first tour. He just went out and started booking shows. I don't know if our tour would even have happened if Dana Duke wasn't involved. And Mike Buff, man, that guy, he was hard to keep up with. He was a little crazier than I was, and he always pushed me. And Mike Buff has been a heavy influence in the sport as well. There's a lot of guys, Todd Anderson, all the guys in the beginning, wait, here we go.
I got a good question for you guys.
Okay.
Thomas Owens is wondering, he says, RL, what's your opinion on the new school bikes, head angle and such?
So the question was, what do I think about the new school bikes and
the head angles?
The head angles and the old school bikes?
And, what do you think of the new bikes and the frames and how they're changing them around?
Right. Yeah. So I'm assuming that means from the new. I'm not riding one of those super short bikes that you see those guys riding. I mean, I think this is 20 and a half inches top tube and 13 and a half in the rear or something. I don't know. But I'm going to build up that general, so I can ride this and the general and see what the differences are. I know that this is kind of in between, I think. So you would have like a general right here, and this would probably be kind of in between, a little more advanced, and then you'd have those real small bikes that they ride that are way advanced. And this thing is easier to move around. The height of the bars, the weight, the short wheelbase, it seems to be just easier to move around. And when you get older, that's a big help. So, I don't know. I got to ride that general and see what happens. I know when I first started riding this thing, I was like, no way. It's so twitchy and going backwards as the front wheel was just shaking, and I'd go over the bars so fast if I tried to do any kind of glides on the front wheel. And I'm like, man, the balance point is so small. But it was funny. As I got better on the bike, got used to it, the balance point got bigger. So I think it was just me getting used to the bike. So we'll see. When we get that general together, we'll run a test back and forth and see what works. Any other?
They were wondering if you're going to come out with your own frame like Fiola. I don't know if you talked about that yet.
That seems to be a question about if I was going to come out with a bike like Eddie Fiola or a frame like Eddie Fiola. And that's kind of up in the air. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people asking about that, but I don't know. We'll kind of see how that goes. You know, I'm a little more pickier now than I was before, and I want quality to be. I want this to be about. This is more about life and having fun and learning to enjoy ourselves and communicating with this community. And,
Yes.
and Pat and I talking about things in the truck. I mean, we really get into it in the truck,
Oh yeah, totally.
right?
Oh yeah,
Especially with that Dave Navarro thing.
Yeah, Dave Navarro.
So I got to tell you guys this story.
Dave.
I don't know if you guys know who Dave Navarro is. He was in what band?
Jane's Addiction and Red Hot Chili Peppers. He had
Yeah.
something to do with them. Yeah.
He was in the I don't know. But I remember him from having this tattoo show, right? So I had in the comments a Dave Navarro that came up. And I was like, looked at it, and I went in the truck and I told Pat, hey man, Dave Navarro came up on my screen. And I was thinking, man, this guy could hook me up with some really good tattoo guys. And then Pat said he was married to who?
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra, man. By the end of the conversation, Pat was married to Carmen Electra. We were going to see Slash and all these big bands backstage, and we really ran with that one. But I went back and I found out it was there was a Dave Navarro, but it wasn't that Dave Navarro. But the Dave Navarro there was an artist too. So
yeah, we wanted to take a shout out to the real Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
The guy the one.
Give us some
That's in our
tattoo
community,
ideas.
man. We love you out there in our community, man. You're cool.
So Patrick, Bobby Carlton is wondering, how did you meet RL?
Through work. Yeah.
You
through work.
answered an ad?
Yeah, I answered an ad in the newspaper for a job and applied for that job and interviewed, and here we go, man. Like, right?
Remember we started talking about guitars?
Yeah, we started talking about guitars because my email has guitar in it. So you said, hey, man, started asking me about guitars, what kind of music I liked. Yeah, so I think that email had a lot to do with it too, man. Maybe, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you were looking for an older guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So us guys in our 50s, man, we could still do it. We're still out here doing it. So, yeah, it was great. So I answered an ad, and there it was. And, man, we've been going at it ever since.
They're wondering, do you ride at all?
No, I don't. I don't ride.
Considering, maybe?
Considering, yeah. Well, yeah, heck yeah, man. I mean, I could
I
ride
can't
a
have
bike. I could
him
ride
get
a bike, but I can't do all those tricks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Get me around a jump ramp. You might see some crash videos.
So Pat plays blues guitar, and so eventually maybe he'll come on and start playing some blues guitar.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
There, Mike Carmody was wondering, or Carmody?
Carmody.
Our buddy Mike.
Carmody.
This is the comedian of the
Mike,
community,
hey, Mike.
man. This guy's funny.
Oh, this is the Photoshop guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you're cool, man.
He's wondering, how often did you go through bikes back in the day, and how often would you get a new bike?
I didn't like putting new bikes together. because, well, I actually had Steve Blackie help me with that at the Bicycle Source, and he just put them together so well. That made it a lot easier. But still, you get used to a bike, and then you got to change. You know, it's I didn't really like that very much, but I don't know. They would. Sometimes I'd be on the same bike for months. Sometimes I'd be on it a day, and something would change. You know, or we were always trying new products and everything. So not very often, but I got to tell you guys about Mike Carmody. So this is how I met Mike Carmody. There was a picture of Duke, then me, and then Dominic Phipps, right? And Mike had taken out Dominic Phipps and put himself in there with his arm around me, and all it said was, "Go with it." So I'm like, so it was pretty funny.
That's awesome, man.
And we've done this now a couple of times throughout this thing. You guys should check him out, Mike Carmody.
Yeah, Mike.
Is it BMX Grails? Did he say it? BMX Grails?
I don't know. I didn't see.
He rebuilds old bikes. He was dying a pair of grips. Oh my God.
It's awesome, man.
You just got to watch it. He is funny.
You're awesome,
funny.
Mike.
Yeah. He brings a lot of light to this community.
Oh, totally.
Check him out.
So kind of a similar question. Greg Strick was wondering. He said, "RL, back when you test rode for BMXA, was there a bike or bikes you got on and said no way?"
Can you put that in the microphone? I can't remember all that.
So he was just wondering, out of the bikes you
But you
test
got to
rode
read
for
it. You
BMXA,
got to do it here. So I
think they
can't remember that whole
Well,
question.
go ahead. Maybe I can remember some of it.
You can't remember which bikes you test rode?
No, I can't remember
I
what
guess
bikes I
you
test rode.
Okay, I guess.
No, he does. That's not what he's asking. He's asking if there was bikes that were.
That you didn't want to ride.
Yeah.
Or you didn't ride bikes that he didn't want to.
He said,
No.
were there any
Yeah.
bikes that you test rode for BMXA that you said, no way, there's something that's going to break on that?
So now I have to repeat that question.
Was there any
Just
bikes
the
that you
answer.
rode for BMXA that you
Well-
said no way you didn't want to ride?
Oh,
those?
okay. I just didn't know if you guys could hear that through the microphone. You know, there were bikes that came in that we were like, come on, man, this is, and then it would last and it worked really good. I mean, and there's bikes that you thought were going to be great that weren't. So it was a variety of things, but you learned to adapt to a new bike very quickly because if it was my dad or my sister that was shooting the bike, it was like, you know, hit that jump now. You get like 5 minutes warm up and get to it, you know. So you learn to adapt real quick.
You got to get the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any bikes like snapping or bending on the first jump. There might have been a few, but
No major wipeouts due to too much failure on the
no,
frames and stuff, you know.
no,
Yeah.
no. We used to do a lot of testing with Scott Breithaupt, who has passed away, and Scott was a good friend. And Scott was nuts, man. He would go for anything and any time. Scott Breithaupt was the owner of SE Racing. He also was one of the guys that started probably some of the first racetracks that we ever had. He was like 14 years old. He's running racetracks, and he was an amazing guy. But he was fun to ride with because he was just one of these no-fear guys that would do anything. So he was great.
Patrick,
Alright.
they were wondering, when you started working with RL, did you know like about his BMX past, or
No.
something you figured out? Or
Yeah, I had no idea. I did not know anything about it. That's honest truth.
yeah,
Did not know.
I think we connected over the guitars.
Yeah, we connected over the
Yeah.
guitars and then the work, you know, the work that we do, same type, you know,
Right.
same type of industry. And we connected over the guitars big time and started talking, and then like I came over and we talked, and then we just started off really good. We just hit it off, man.
Yeah. And then you
It
worked
was
with
good.
Dylan.
Then I
for a
worked
while.
with Dylan, for a while,
Yeah.
and then it was great, man. Yeah, but I did not know about the BMX. I did not know anything about that.
We had, well, one thing I can tell you is that I really am detail oriented when I'm in a house. I mean, I really want everything right. And he was at least as bad as I was, maybe even worse in the OCD department. So we really do an unbelievable job, but he's not in a hurry. He gives me like better quality than I could ever imagine, and our jobs have gotten better because of Pat. So it's a really good working relationship, really good. Yeah, and Dylan was actually doing my part on the truck, and he did a really good job as well. So we've all kind of worked with each other, and it's been good.
It's been good, yeah.
So Gary Sorley is wondering, is learning to fall more important than learning the trick?
Is learning to fall more important than learning the trick? I would say yes. I would say yes. And I'll tell you the truth. I watched some new guys. I think I don't know where they're from, maybe France or something, and that's the first thing they showed is how to get out of the trick, And I wanted to know because when I first started riding, I was on my face on that floor in the garage a lot. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And you watch pros ride.
Yeah, they learn how to fall. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They know how to roll out of it or
crash.
Step over the bike. So when I on rolling tricks, I would just go right over the bars and learn how to get out of it. It kind of took the fear away of doing a rolling trick. It is important to learn how to fall and break the trick down too. I don't just look at a trick and try to consume the whole trick at one time. I break it down. Learn maybe if you're doing an infinity roll, learning the getting into it, learning the infinity roll on its own, and then learning how to get out of it. Learn them separately so you're not trying to consume all three moves all at the same time. That's worked good for me.
Josh Smith was wondering about your guys' guitar setups. If you guys could tell him what guitars you use and gear.
Do I have to repeat that because they can't hear?
What kind of guitar? What type of guitar equipment and that we use?
What's his Josh Smith?
Yeah.
Josh. Well, I have a Angus Young signature Gibson SG that I've had for. I think I got that thing around 2010. I have a Gibson Firebird 5 that I play. I've had that for several years now. I have a Hot Rod Deluxe amp. I have a Marshall 40C. Can't think of the actual name of that thing. But yeah, I pretty much play through that. But I've been using a little Vox 30 watt practice amp. And I'll use a chorus pedal and mess around with a few pedals and stuff too. But yeah, mainly it's just a Gibson SG black, back in black type guitar. I love the guitar for blues. I'm really into blues and stuff. I didn't really necessarily buy it to play AC/DC, although I love AC/DC. But the guitar has got a really small neck on it, and you've seen
with the inlays.
The inlays, and it's super light. You've seen the weight on that thing, man. It's
it doesn't. It feels like it's made out of paper or something.
It's a beautiful guitar. Yeah, that's my main axe though. Is that Gibson SG, man? That thing's hard to put down. The Firebird, I got into Firebirds because Johnny Winter. I'm a Johnny Winter freak, man. So that's what got me into the Gibson Firebird. And that thing's not so easy to play, but it's very fulfilling guitar to knock out some tunes on.
So I gotta tell you, Pat is like the collectors. You guys that collect bikes, Pat is like that. He was telling me about a guitar that he was buying. It was coming from Africa, and he knew what crate it was on and the serial number. I mean, it was like I didn't even know that you could find that stuff out. So he understands exactly where you guys are at. I'm learning that stuff. But yeah, he's definitely into it.
Yeah,
he answers all my questions because I'm like, hey, what is that one? The thing of fives,
the
circle of fifths.
Yeah, which I'm trying to figure out. But
yeah, I mean, I'm starting.
Yeah, I do pretty good when I'm not fiddling with all the stuff either.
Yeah,
once we get to playing, it's good. But just keep my hands off the effects, man. Just keep the fingers off the effects.
Yeah,
play the guitar. I'm good.
I saw one that came up from where was it?
Oh, Dana Duke is watching now.
Dana, you're out there. Hey, bud, how's it going, Duke?
Have you met Duke, Patrick?
No, I haven't. Met Duke. Hey, Duke. All right, man. For
Rick
sure.
Allison. So, man, I dig Rick Allison. I've known Rick forever from the beginning. And he posts everything, man. He tells you guys straight up where he's coming from. And I really enjoy the truth that comes out of him and the fact that he is so open and honest because, we all learn about, everybody's kind of quiet about their problems. They just want to make their lives look like it's just, roses and candy all day long. And it's not, and when people come out and they're truthful, it makes us feel, it makes me feel like, hey, there's other people in the world that deal with this stuff, And Rick does that well. And, so, Rick Allison, I just want to thank you for being so straight up and honest, man. I appreciate that. A lot of you guys are like that, and I think that's what this is all about.
Yeah. The threads and stuff we've been reading on the trivia page and everything's just been awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really good community and good people, man. All the comments and questions and just general conversations, just great. It's good, man.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff, and I've been really enjoying reading all this stuff and learning a lot,
Harry Myers even admitted. Harry Myers was the guy that owned General Bicycles, and I think he's in his 70s now. But man, he writes really good. But he finally admitted that he does crave a bite. I think he said quarter pounder at McDonald's was his thing because he was telling us about stents and heart problems and stuff like that. And we're like, I don't want to hear that. And I said, come on, you never crave McDonald's or something like that? He goes, finally, after about 5 comments, he goes, oh, are you kidding me? A quarter pounder and fries and a large Coke. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Ronnie Welton, of course, you met chicks.
They were wondering if you could show them a close-up on the helmet. And then also they were wondering what was your favorite song to ride to in the contest.
Well, okay, my favorite song to ride to at a contest was Funeral for a Friend by Elton John.
Yeah.
You've heard that
you
one,
told me
all the
about
organs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I admit,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
when Dennis McCoy came out, man, he was so flashy and fast, and he was doing the hardest tricks. And it looked really good, and I really wanted to do that. But I was thinking, that's not me. I like slow to the music. I want to feel it, I mean, I just feel it when I'm just slower. So I just, screw it. I'm going to play a song I liked, and went out there, did my run, and when I came off, Martin Aparijo had tears in his eyes. My sister was crying, and that was like one of the most memorable contests I had because I felt like I connected with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they got me for, we understood what we were trying to do.
Real strong connection, man.
Yeah. So, Funeral for a Friend was good, but I mean, I'm right now. I'm really stuck on Zeppelin. We talk about Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
We talk
all
about
day
Jimmy
long.
Page, man, all day long, man.
Yeah,
we love Jim. Shout out to Jimmy Page.
give me a call, man. I want to be in your band. So here's I don't know. I was riding downhill and I got that dent. But if you look at the scrapes right here on the front, I don't know if you guys can see that, right there and right there.
Yeah, look at that.
And right here, and the visor is gone. It was like, I mean, I went like head first into the jump on the bike with my hands on the bars. And I mean, who does that? I mean, who would go? It's like, I don't know.
Man.
But that's apparently what happened. I was knocked out, so I don't remember it. But I don't know, something weird.
Man, look at the carbs they got on those things now these days, man. It's not like
I didn't know you could dent a helmet.
Yeah, it's not like the old Dale Earnhardt helmets, man. Nothing in the front, man. I don't know how anybody used to race with those.
Yeah,
things.
those half shells and stuff.
Yeah, the olden days, man. That's cool. Yeah, got some battle scars on there.
Yep, she's broken in good.
Oh yeah,
New one.
Works.
Here's something I'd like to mention, that these new school riders, these guys are, man, I couldn't dream of what they're doing. When I watch them ride, my mouth's open and I'm drooling. It's just amazing. I don't know how can you balance like that with no brakes and you're spinning? How do you balance that fast? I mean, and then go into a combination. Same thing with the dirt jumpers.
Oh man.
I'm sure you guys ride dirt jumps, but they're not like they used to be. Now it's like you got to learn the first set or the first pack of jumps, you got to hit perfect, know how to pump, or you're not going to make the big set. And these guys do it with tricks in between, and it's just
Man, the throttle control and everything. Just
no throttle on a bike though.
I mean, yeah, okay. I thought you talked about motocross.
We talk about motocross.
I got motorcycle engines going in my head, man.
We talk about.
Yeah,
I talk
brakes.
about motocross a
Love
lot.
that. No brakes, man. It's just such a nice flow to the way they do this. Wow, it's incredible. The balance and the flow, man.
It makes sense.
It's
You know,
just-
I wonder when I'm riding, I'm like, why am I touching my brakes? And it actually kind of screws me up. But it's kind of like if I'm going to flip over backwards, I know
like
I got
a safety
that brake.
valve, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or-
I totally understand where they're coming from.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man. The balance just that you see, like no brakes and just, wow, man, that momentum and how they can just hold on to that.
Yeah.
Pretty, Pretty cool. Yeah.
I watched this guy do like just a 360, and he came out on a wheelie and went right into a nose manual or whatever you call them, no brakes, hopped into a nose manual. And I mean, it was just unbelievable what these guys are doing. I don't know.
Man.
Todd Moyer is wondering when they'll see some more video of you riding.
I know I said I was going to post every week, right? But I didn't pick it up quite as fast.
To do more of that.
Huh?
I'll be pushing you to do more of that.
Yeah,
Dylan's gonna
drag me out of bed. Yeah, it wasn't like when I started riding. I was hoping like I was just going to advance right along and just be right where I was. Wrong, that didn't happen. But I'm going to post more videos. I got to post them at a respectable level. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this, man. If the guys are out there that you think you're doing simple tricks, just a nose wheelie or, you know, something that you think is simple, it's not. It is hard, and there is skill involved. So give yourself credit because I'm relearning all that stuff right now, and I'm not just pulling it off right away. It's taking time. So, yeah, just don't watch guys like Pete Brandt because that just screws me up, man. That makes me want to just go to bed forever. But and the new school riders, and then there's some guys though that are like, I'm seeing some guys that are like in their late 40s that are combining old tricks with new tricks.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Like a hybrid, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
like a hybrid.
Like a hybrid.
It's
That's
a good
really
name.
cool. Yeah.
That's like the water table that you named.
Yeah.
the water table.
Yeah, the water table. Yeah, hybrid, man. That's really cool, man.
All right, let's see. You
What do we
still
got
own the old uniforms, pants, jersey, and helmets. Bobby Carlton asked me if I still have my old pants, jerseys, and all that stuff. I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. I when people ask me for stuff, I just gave it away, all my bikes, everything. Mike Caruth called me. No, I mean, he hit me up on Messenger on Facebook and said he had my plaque from the Hall of Fame. He's been carrying it with him for 10 years. And I said, no, I don't want it. And I thought about it, and I called him back a month later, and he said, yeah, I still got it. And I said, all right, we'll send it over. And he did. He sent it to me. Thank you, Mike. So I just saw that about a week ago. First time I ever saw that. That's all I have is I have a plaque from the Hall of Fame and the bikes that I'm riding now. And I have a Haro 24 race bike that I mess around with. I have a 26-inch dirt jumper Haro RS1 with RockShox on it. And I love the shit out of that bike, man. For dirt jumping, that 26-inch, so smooth and geometry is good. That bike is great. I have done no damage to it, and believe me, I've bent everything else that could be broken on that bike, but I really like that Haro 26-inch dirt jumper. Anyways, Jimmy Page and the Black Crows. What?
All right.
Jimmy Page in the Black Crows.
I think he did some jamming with those guys.
He
man.
did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never heard that one.
For sure, yeah.
Alan
I think-
Pride is wondering what was your favorite bike ever that you rode?
What was my favorite bike? Alan Akide
Yeah.
asked what was my favorite bike ever. Man, the red line thing was big for me. The RL20, I just dug that bike. And the 22, love that bike. But it was a thing with Lynn Caston, and I believe Gene Romero was the engineer, and the way we talked about how that bike should be built, and everybody put in their 2 cents, and Lynn, with all his talent, made it just a beautiful bike. So I have a lot of good feelings that come from riding that red line. The General, also a lot of good feelings. That bike just was, it was sound from the day I got it. I loved riding that General Osborne Pro. And the Bully that we had, when I had Bully, that was an excellent bike too. The prototype for the Bully was unbelievable. Man, that bike, it was so dialed in. So to say I had a favorite, there were so many bikes that I rode, but those are probably my 3 top right there.
Bobby Carlton's wondering, what tricks are you working on right now?
So Bobby Carlton and Shane Osborne asked, what are your favorite tricks?
Right. What tricks are you working on now, too?
Well, I'm learning the names of these tricks. I've forgotten all of them. But I think it's a half lash into, you go into circles. You're scuffing a little bit. But if you put your leg on the inside, you start spinning these circles. So that, I'm learning the cyborg, some combinations. I don't even remember the name of some of these tricks. Just whatever pops into my head kind of thing. And the list gets bigger every day, which is bad because then I forget the one I'm on.
Yeah, it's cool.
But when Pat comes with me, it's cool because he's just so mellow and he comments and he can help me figure stuff out. Yeah. Like that day I went
just
riding,
take it easy and just ride, man.
Yeah. It's cool.
Let it flow. Yeah.
They're wondering if there's any chance of a Hammer and Bully return.
A chance of a hammer. Well, Jeff DeVito has his own business now. That's who I sold Bully and Hammer to. And I believe he is still, in fact, I know he is still selling Bully and Hammer. There was some kind of an offshoot with Bully to another guy. I don't remember. I don't know how that works. But yeah, there's definitely, my shins are telling me that there's a need for something new with Hammer, like something more breathable. It's not so hot, and I have some ideas in the back of my head. I have so many ideas going through my head talking with you guys that I can't tell you everything, but some good ideas. So I don't know, maybe something will come, maybe it won't. We'll see how this journey goes, We're just kind of doing it here, playing it. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Playing it by ear.
Playing it by ear, man.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Playing it by ear?
Yeah, play it by ear. Cut it loose. What's the other ones we got? We got a few sayings, man.
Yeah. Cut it loose. That was... Oh, man, I got to tell you guys. This is off the bike thing, but Pat and I walked up to this... What did he call that? The field stripping?
Oh, yeah. Field stripping? The old soldier? Yeah.
The old soldier. This guy was in Vietnam, right? He's
like 89.
He
was in Vietnam. He was in I think he was even in World War II in Korea, man, maybe. But yeah, he was up there.
I'm not good with
this. Yeah.
We walked up and he was smoking a cigarette, and we were going to do carpet cleaning for him. And when he was done, he started shredding his cigarette into little tiny pieces. And I was standing there watching that, and Pat and I are looking at each other, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Field stripping." And we're like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, when you're in the war and you're in the jungle, you tear your cigarette apart and bury it so they can't find it." And I'm thinking, well, wouldn't that be actually more pieces of paper?
Yeah, and he's doing
now you got shred all over, but
he's doing it in his front yard. I mean, he's field stripping right in his front yard, man.
Because that's what he used to do in the war, right?
That's what he used to do. Yeah, every cigarette he smokes.
Every cigarette
field strips it.
Man, field stripping, it just sounds like a real thing. We talked about that for about 6 months, trying to figure out if it was real. But
yeah, man, that's.
Ken Flynn is wondering if after the virus clears, are you going to travel around the country to different BMX events?
After the what is cleared?
The virus.
After the virus is cleared, am I going to travel around the country?
To different events, BMX events.
To different events. I mean, as far as BMX events, I come from the old days. David Clinton, Stu Thompson, Tom Lund, John Parferman, Bobby Encinas, Billy Wuda, Marvin Church. That's what I consider BMX, and not to knock what the guys are doing now. These guys are so fast now, but it was different. So I think I'd be more inclined to go to like the ESPN events and see some. I really want to go see a ground contest. I want to see that stuff live. But yeah, I do want to do that. I do want to go around. We have a lot of ideas that we're talking about. But yeah, we definitely want to go out there. Also, some people invited me to a barbecue, and I think that would be cool. Like 10 people around, just having a barbecue, just talking. Yeah. You know, low key. I'd definitely be into that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Free food, right?
Barbecue, baby.
We'll just have barbecues set up.
Yeah.
10 miles. Dave Carl says he remembers having to field strip cigarettes.
Oh no, yeah, I know because we couldn't find it. We
does
couldn't
it
find
feel weird having your? Wait, I see his
Wikipedia
question.
page. He said, "Does it feel weird having your own Wikipedia page?"
Wait, let's go back to the guy that says
field
he's heard
stripping?
of field stripping.
Yeah, because we really can't find too many people that
So you've heard of field stripping, Dave Carlton?
That's what he said. Dave Carl.
Dave Carl, you've heard of field stripping.
Yeah.
That's weird. You're the second person that has confirmed.
And I want to
that.
say the soldier guy we talked to was super cool too, man.
Yeah.
That guy was like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Super really, really down to earth guy, man. Like for like 90s, man. I think he was like in his 90s.
Yeah.
And he was pretty sharp. He was a pretty cool guy.
And the
man.
way he said it, field stripping,
Yeah.
he looked at us like, you don't know what that is?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Like, hey, man.
Well, that's what they refer to when they like take their gun apart. I thought in the field and like break it down to clean it or something.
I don't know. I thought maybe
don't know.
just running a field hog wild and just take all your clothes off, man. I mean,
Jason Highfill was wondering, what about events like backyard ramp jams? Would that be something you'd be into?
Yeah. I saw this one thing, I don't know, it was called Summer Jam or something, where these guys were just like, man, they were doing anything. Somebody set up like a course. I don't know if I showed you or you, Dylan, where they had like a rail that they were grinding on over a mud hole.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, man, this guy
yeah.
must have grinded like 50 feet or something. And if they didn't make it, they fell in this mud pit.
that was crazy.
Isn't that like in Alabama or something, like in the South?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
Probably. I think people in Alabama are having a lot of fun because they got mud bogs and those rock buddies.
Oh man,
and,
rock crawlers, mud bogs,
Yeah.
man. They're out there in the swamps, man, like cutting trails.
yeah. Can't do any of that
Pumped
in
out
California.
Can-Ams, the pumped out kind that can turn the tires. And
Oh, man. Those rock crawlers are insane.
oh, jeez. I
So
know.
this question is kind of for both of you guys. It's from Lincoln Belt, and he's wondering what's the hardest thing to clean out of a carpet?
Lincoln Bell?
Belt.
Yeah.
Lincoln Bell
What's the
asks, what's the hardest thing to clean out of carpet?
And have you ever had to refuse a job? Like, because it was too dirty or something?
No, actually,
I don't think we never.
we
have.
crave dirty jobs. I mean, because... Why? I mean, I don't know why they put red dye in like Kool-Aid or Hawaiian Punch or
Red
something like
dye,
that. Why would you
wine,
do that?
red
Why would you
dye.
put a red dye?
A red dye
In a
on
kid's
a
drink.
white carpet, man.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I mean,
goodness.
he's going to
Yeah.
spill it. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
because it sells more.
So red dye I would say
red dye is
we're-
pretty rough.
pretty rough. Wine, of course, you know.
We get all
we
that
get it out, yeah.
We get it out.
Gum? Did you say gum?
No, gum's
We
easy.
don't run into that too
Gum's
much. We
easy.
actually don't run into that problem very often, gum
Right.
or anything like that. But
You could tell him about your stories of cleaning in.
well, your
lots.
battery's running low,
My-
man. We might have to plug it in here.
Does this matter if I have mine up because the battery's running low?
No, it doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
just so you could see the chat. You could tell about cleaning in Watts because that's probably the hardest place where you had to clean.
Oh yeah, like about cleaning your watts. When
Oh my god.
Hardest place for cleaning.
Yeah.
carpet.
Yeah, we like cleaning dirty carpets because I run the best equipment you can get. I mean, I probably have $250,000 in my truck, and we can take carpets that are like trashed and make them look new. And that takes, talk about getting all your ducks in a row, man. That's where that's at. But yeah, because you get that big clean line, and there's nothing more pleasing than taking a carpet that looks like it's done and making it look unbelievable, and the response that comes from it, it's very gratifying. What was the other part of that question?
Tell him about working in Watts, cleaning carpet there.
So I worked in Watts in LA, and it was a pretty interesting place to work. I mean, you walk up to a house and there's gun shells in the gutter, and everything you would imagine. They got used to me and they knew me, so I didn't get hassled. But if you start looking around, it turns into a bad situation. But I was with this guy cleaning this carpet, and there's little kids crawling around, little babies and stuff, and we started looking at this brown carpet. It started moving, and it looked like water, and then it started to turn white, and it started to like go in waves, and it was maggots. I mean, thousands and hundreds of thousands of maggots that we were pulling up from the bottom, and the carpet turned white right in front of our eyes. And my friend started to throw up. He held his mouth. He ran out. We just grabbed all the equipment, just ripped the plugs out and ran out. I was like willing to stay. I wanted to see what was going to happen, but we left out of there pretty quick. But yeah.
No, we don't run into too many jobs like that these days. Luckily, nothing like that. Yeah.
No, we're like we're pretty fortunate. All our jobs are in like Carmel, Pebble Beach, Monterey, Pacific Grove.
Do a lot of rugs too, man. I mean, a lot of
area rugs, high-end area rugs,
nice area rugs, man.
There's a rug we cleaned that's $500,000.
Yeah,
at your buddy's house.
Yeah, my buddy's
say
house.
That name.
Yeah.
You can't say. You got to keep. They deserve their privacy. So I'm not gonna say
asked the guy in the car that he drives today. In fact, I saw one of those today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which car he's got?
Yeah. But that's crazy, man. But yeah, it's really satisfying with the rugs. We get to see a lot of really cool rugs. You know what I mean? Clean them, but we get to see a lot of really cool stuff like that too, which is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's pleasing.
Yeah, you get to see some really nice rugs. Get to see some nice art sometimes.
Yeah.
The rugs are cool, though, man. Like, it's interesting. There's a lot of different rugs and this is a whole world out there.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about that.
Rugs is area rugs, carpets. There's so many different ways to clean them. And, but it's a challenge, and we love doing it, so.
Yeah, totally.
So I saw a question come up here. It went by. I didn't see whose name it was. Who inspired me to start writing freestyle? Well, when Bob Harrow did that rock walk in front of my house, he was living with us. He was an artist. That was pretty mind-blowing. And we were doing jumps, and we were doing little 360s and stuff, but not like refined as what he was doing. And I would have to say seeing... Huh? Seeing Bob do that rock walk and rolling backwards, that was. Then we started riding together a lot, and a bunch of our friends were riding. That was a big eye opener. So, yeah, definitely got to give that credit there. And John Swanigan, when I got to know Bob, we would go down to San Diego and ride with John Swanigan, who was just like Bob. I mean, he was doing. Oh my God, John was unbelievable in skate parks. So was Bob. And riding with them, John Swanigan and Bob Harrow, was really a special time. Good time.
You want more questions?
How long are we supposed to go? I'm going to McDonald's after this. Oh, wait, Teresa Grinke. Hi, RL. Me and Chris Grinke are watching. Oh, I got to talk to... So Teresa Grinke just went by, and her brother is Chris Grinke. She has another brother, Steve, and then Jimmy. And Jimmy and I were buddies when we were like 10 years old. And we would just pretty much follow Chris and Steve. They were making side hacks. These guys were in it. The Grinkes were involved in BMX before it was really a sport. They were making side hacks. They were riding. They would just cut a bike up and weld it in the afternoon and see how it came out. But they would sneak us into like Ascot to watch motocross races and stuff. But the Grinke family, Teresa and her mom and all the brothers were a big part of my life. I think you guys every day. Think about you guys every day. Big influence on me riding, watching you guys, and just all the fun you guys were having with it. So just wanted to say hi to all the Grinkes out there.
They're asking for Hugo stories.
Hugo Gonzalez. Hugo was just nuts, man. He was kind of like Chris Muller. I don't know if you guys know, but Chris Muller he just started doing these, like he would jump from a berm to another berm or something at a BMX race afterwards. And that turned into a real popular thing. And that's as far as dirt jumping on a crazy level, I think Chris Muller was, from what I heard and what I saw. I wasn't going to BMX races, but I'd see the pictures. I think that's where that started. And I got off the question. What was the question again, Hugo?
yeah.
Oh, Hugo. Hugo was like that in. So Chris Muller would go for anything, and Hugo he could ride. I mean, he had skills, and he was willing to go for major tricks. And so when Hugo would ride, everybody was watching because it was always right on the edge. He was one of the most exciting riders to watch. And I think I've been talking to his brother a lot online. So yeah, Hugo was big and fun to watch and super cool guy. Super cool guy. How long are we going to go?
As long as you guys want.
Replying to Pete Augustin, Richie Pierce, you, Bob, Mike, Ronnie, somehow, and Pat Romano jammed together.
Philip Jocko is wondering, why did you step away from freestyle and lay low?
Oh boy, a big question. Philip Jocko?
It's hard to pronounce. Jokel?
Philip Jokel asked me why I walked away from freestyle. So this is going to be the last question, and but this is the big one that comes up: why I walked away from freestyle. And I was into the business side of it, and I made a deal, to keep it simple. I made a deal when I first started riding freestyle, when I started to make money, that if I was ever doing this sport just to make money, that I'd quit. And I did. There was a time that came where I was just doing it for the money. I knew, you get to know all the stuff behind the scenes and all the crap and everything like that, and it just killed it for me. And freestyle is, to me, is a separate breathing entity that is, it's kind of like a soul. It's a living thing, and it brings me and my friends together. It brings all of us together to talk online, and I respect that, and I didn't want to abuse it, and so I had to get out. Just felt wrong to me, and then when I started talking to you guys online, it kind of, I'm coming in a different way now, and I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but that's about where it came from.
Yeah, a lot of fun, no pressure.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah,
I don't have to speak a certain way or sell a bike or. I just talk to you guys straight up and tell you where I'm really at, and that feels good to me.
Yeah, totally. It's good, man. Oh, yeah.
So anyways, should I close it up?
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say something too afterwards.
Oh, Dylan wants to say something.
Come on in, man. Come on in. I'll jump back in the truck here.
All I was going to say is I'll be putting this video up on YouTube after this, and I'll share the link on my dad's Instagram and Facebook, so you guys can rewatch it, or if you didn't get to watch it live, you can watch it whenever. So that's it, yeah.
Awesome, man.
And I'm going to McDonald's because it's Saturday, and it's my cheat day, so.
And you guys are great out there, man. Your community is, really awesome, and the things you guys are posting is really cool. It's interesting, and that's what's making this a lot of fun, man, is you guys out there. So we appreciate everything that you guys are doing, man.
Yeah, definitely excited to be a
real
part
exciting.
of this.
Real exciting.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not just trying to, whatever. This is us, man.
This is the truth, man. This is just
us and you, whatever. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, we talk all this stuff. We talk about you guys all day long.
All the time, man, and it's all good, and we're just here to do our thing.
The communication is cool, though, right?
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
You could, really, it's like almost better than Google, because you could ask this community any question. You need help with something, you need an answer, and you're going to get it. And you're going to get it real live from a person that knows what they're talking about. And even personal feelings, we have some conversations about, the reality of life, that's maybe not so happy, but it's part of life, and I really, that helps me. Because I don't wake up every day full of sunshine, and so we just talk about everything, and to me that's a gift, and I really appreciate it. So I want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna try and go live maybe once a week, once every other week, but I'll keep you all posted on that.
Yeah, you guys, thanks for showing up, and
thank you.
We'll see you on the next.
It's nice to meet you guys, man.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good one.